Hi, I'm Alan.
Hi, and I'm Lori, and welcome to our first video.
Come along and join us as we start down an avenue of a dream that we've come up with for our, let's say, glory years.
Glory years. Okay.
Okay, well, yeah, glory is your
Whatever.
alter ego. But
Yeah.
anyway, a couple of years ago, I decided that we need to start working toward our retirement. What we want to do after, we stop working and start living. Not that we don't live now, but we had ideas, things like RVing and things like that.
I wanted to be a park host.
Well, park host is great, but you have to deal with people that are complaining.
Anyway.
All right. So anyway, I had learned through a rabbit hole here on YouTube about the America's Great Loop. So if you know what the America's Great Loop is, three things. You've either heard of it and are researching it, you're doing it, or you've already done it. Now, mind you, I've learned lots of things from some of you people who have put together videos and put them on YouTube about the America's Great Loop, or liveaboards, lifestyles of living in a small area, kind of like you hear all these tiny houses. Well, we're looking at thinking in it, tiny house on the water. What do you think? One that doesn't sit still all the time.
I have my doubts. We have 3,000 square feet here, and he wants to put me on a little bitty boat.
Okay, so let's come back to that then. Lori loves to travel. Lori loves to go. I enjoy traveling. I love to go. I'm not so hip of being in a large vehicle, pulling a large box down the highway at 70 and 80 miles an hour to get to the next spot to set it all up and then sit around and have, a good time, a couple of marshmallows, meet a few people in the camps.
He doesn't travel well.
Okay, so I don't ride well. I'm sorry, I have to stop often to use the facilities. So anyway, I had found through the rabbit hole about the Great Loop. So I started researching it more. And I come to her and I said, hey, Lori, what do you think about this idea? Well...
And I didn't like it. I just couldn't imagine being trapped on a little boat until I did some research on my own.
Well, wait a minute. You didn't do much research on your own.
Right, you're right.
Not until I started pushing you. Because I figured out how to relate the circumnavigation of the eastern seaboard and all those areas as relating it to being on the highway. You move from location to location. You stay as long as you want or as little as you want. But you get to be in towns. You either moor or you anchor or you go to the marinas and stay. And you can go into town. Lots of towns have festivals constantly. And we like going to go to things like that. We come from a town that has 2 and 3 a year. But anyway, I digress. I started learning about this and going around through southern Florida, through Okeechobee, or going around the Keys. And then I found out about going to the Bahamas.
So I found out, he was like, the Bahamas, Lori, we could go to the Bahamas. And I said, you're kidding me, right? So I got on the internet, found out it was like, 57, 58 miles over to the Bahamas from Florida. So piece of cake. Realized that one of the boats, that we're looking at goes 8 miles an hour. Do the calculations. It's going to be a long day. But it's across the Atlantic Channel. So one of the qualifications I have with getting a boat, that it must cross the Atlantic Channel.
So there you go. Now we're into this discussion. So we're looking at deciding what boat we need. Okay, there are lots of videos on lots of boats. There's not a lot of answers by this being a boat that will handle this or a boat that won't handle it. But that's going to be one of our qualifications. We understand air draft. We understand water draft. We understand width.
I understand height.
Well,
because I found out that I have to be like 12 foot high.
Well, you're not 12 foot high.
Under some of the passes.
So anyway, we're learning lots. So anyway, we learned about the America's Great Loop Cruising Association. So we joined. We've read a lot of things on there. We've looked at things. There's a lot of questions we got to answer. A lot of them about finance. A lot of them about insurance.
So how are we going to do that?
Well, we've decided that we're going to go to the 2019 Spring Rendezvous in Norfolk, Virginia.
Norfolk, Virginia?
Well, you know where that's at. Well, no, I guess we don't. We've never been, but we're coming to Norfolk.
We're coming to you to learn.
So anyway, follow along as we learn and make mistakes and learn from those.
Subscribe.
So subscribe,
Ring the bell.
like,
And leave comments.
help us help you, or help us help ourselves. We really want to make this our adventure for retirement. Who knows? We may move on a boat, do this for 2 or 3 years, and move back to our place here. Or we may wind up deciding to get a bigger boat and staying on the water. You never know where this is going to end. And I'm glad, she finally jumped on board.
See what you-
Yeah. Well, in our case,
he's not going to be a comedian for sure.
I got to have an admiral, and I'm going to be the captain, and we're going to have fun.
And I'm going to bring you tips from a female's point of view on what happens when he goes overboard. And instead of going on the life raft, I learn how to park the boat, or drive the boat, or shoot the flare, or
a myriad of other things that you come up with oars. It's a lot to learn.
We tied the knot 33 years ago.
Long years ago.
This is going to be an adventure.
Well, it's definitely going to be an adventure. And it's going to be the adventure that we've worked our lives every day to put money in the bank to come back and say, now let's go enjoy this great United States and the neighboring countries that we can get into. She wants the Bahamas. I want Canada.
Eh?
So we're going to make these trips. We're going to do these things.
We're going to post about once a week, sometimes more depending on my mood. So hang tight and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, enjoy the ride. It's going to be a ride. We're cruisers, not sailors, so we're going to say that up front. So we're going to be looking at all the different type boats.
Meeting all the different kinds of people.
And coming to see you soon. So see you soon. Like, subscribe, and comment. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm Alan.
Hi, and I'm Lori, and this is our first video. God, that's so bad. Okay, let's try it again.
Hi, I'm Alan.
Hi, and I'm Lori. Welcome to our first video.
We come to you today because we're wanting to put together a video from our perspective of things that we're going to work toward to do in our retirement age. Years ago, a couple of years ago, start over.